Hello, everyone, and it is the World Series, Travis. Neither of our teams are in it, but it's still exciting stuff. Great pitching duels. Are you ready?
Let's talk baseball.
What's up, everyone? We're back here at the Sports Trigger, talk a little World Series. Travis, tomorrow, actually when this actually comes out, it will, be actual game day. So, a lot to be pumped here. First game here, we got, the Claw pitching versus, Dallas over there. So, who do you go with? And what excites you about this World Series compared to the last ones? I mean, last year you had the Cubs storyline, and then obviously the Indians took them to Game 7. You had the rain delay and all of that. So, what expectations do you have for this one?
The thing that excites me most about this matchup is there are two new teams. There are two new teams that we have not seen in the World Series for quite some time. Ever since I've been born, I don't recall. I know the Astros made it in the mid-2000s, but I wasn't paying attention to that World Series, to be truthfully honest. And then, obviously, before I was born was when the Dodgers made it. So, there's so many different things that are going into the series. You know, you have the powerhouse Dodgers. They've done so great through the playoffs, ripped through teams. You have the Stros, who are very dominant as well, had a very dominant season. I would argue have more offensive talent than the Dodgers, and I would say the Dodgers have a better pitching staff. I'm not taking anything away from Keuchel or Verlander, but I think as a whole, the Dodgers pitching staff is a lot stronger. So to me, it's a clash of obviously pitching versus offense, and that's what interests me most, because I love seeing that, just like in football where you see, offensive team versus defensive team. So I'm definitely very interested to see how these two teams play each other, especially Kershaw. I'm very happy to see the Claw finally in the World Series. Congratulations to him. It's been a long time coming. What are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me now? What are these players going to do now on the big stage? None of them have been, in a World Series before, at least pitching-wise that I'm aware of. So, so many different things.
Verlander was.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So aside from Verlander, which I don't know how or where he came, I feel like he was purposely racking up his ERA so that the Tigers like, oh yeah, let's just trade him, because wow, I did not expect him to be so dominant in the playoffs with the way his ERA has been the past couple of years. I mean, it's been amazing. But yeah, I mean, what are some things that you're looking forward to? Like what's going to get you to watch this World Series most?
The hitting, and I think there's going to be a lot of runs scored. I do. Even you look at these great pitchers, but both of these lineups are stacked. I mean, they can hit home runs, they can, load up the bases and knock you in a few. So I think it's going to be high scoring. I mean, you look at Verlander, 4-0 with the 1.46 ERA in the postseason so far.
Crazy.
You can't get much better than that. I mean, that's just, Yu Darvish has been just about as impressive, 2-0 and a 1.59 ERA. So, those two guys, but Verlander does have the over 7 ERA, in 3 World Series starts with the Tigers. So, I think that's going to creep back up. But if not, this is talking, I'm a huge Red Sox fan. This is talking about like Curt Schilling back when he was playing for the Red Sox. Like that impressive of a postseason run if he keeps that up, especially against the stacked Dodgers lineup. But you know what I'm excited for is the best team in baseball this year, to me, is going to win again. And that's exciting because I'm stating that for the Dodgers, but hey, Magic Johnson's money's finally coming through.
Yeah.
I mean, he took over that team, and as part of a management group, obviously, and they've poured money into the Dodgers, like just saying, like, okay, we're going to get this guy, we're going to come up and snag this guy, we don't care how much we're spending, we're going to get to the World Series, and here they are. So if they lose, then, you know,
how devastating would that be if they lost this year?
I think it'd be pretty devastating, because then if they lose, now you say, like, okay, well, they have young stars on their team, but still, you know, what do we have to do to win? Because to be honest, they've assembled a perfect roster, or not a perfect roster, but a roster worthy of winning a World Series.
Exactly.
And years before, they would fall short or not live up to expectations. So if they don't win this year, I don't know, I mean, really what to say to them, because then you have on the other side, Houston's really, outside of, you know, they picked up Verlander, obviously, outside of building up their team, but they built their team through a lot of young stars and being a terrible baseball team for a while. So, they built up their organization pretty well too, but, you know, I don't think this loss, if the Astros don't win the World Series this year, I don't think it's as devastating. They're like, okay, this is just a sign of things to come in the years forward, where the Dodgers, if they lose, they're kind of in shambles.
It's almost like the culmination for the Dodgers. Like, okay, we're here. We've done everything we can. We've thrown money at it, like you said, to get the best people, you know, around Clayton Kershaw and, you know, the other pieces on this team. So if I totally agree to where it'd be very devastating. Then you just have to look at yourself in the mirror like, what, you know, we have all the pieces. Why did we not win this? So, okay, so with that, how many games is it going to take for the Dodgers to win, since you're on Team Dodgers?
I think the series goes 7. I think it's balanced. Okay. I think the Dodgers are going to sweat a lot out. You know, Astros have good enough pitching to shut down some good offenses. They have Verlander pitching this well, so I'm going to say I'm making the bet that he keeps it going, and I think he's going to get two games for the Stros, and neither team has lost at home this entire postseason.
Crazy.
So that's the other thing, but I think that's going to stop with this. I think the Claw takes game 1. I think Verlander takes 2, and then they'll probably just split back and forth, and then end up in game 7. So I don't know, what are you expecting? Are you expecting the pitchers to kind of control this, or are you expecting a pretty high scoring series?
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I came into the postseason in general thinking, okay, well, you know, we have the aces up now. It's not going to be totally high scoring, and then obviously that gets blown up in my face really quickly.
Yeah.
But these first couple games, I think the first game could end up being high scoring, because I'm not a huge believer in Keuchel or Keuchel, however you want to pronounce it. I definitely think the Claw will come up big. I can see the Dodgers putting up at least 6 runs there. And I'm totally on board with you with Verlander as well. However, I'm not on board with the Dodgers pick. The thing that scares me about my pick is Morton for the Stros. However, he did prove that he could win a game. He won the last game against the Yankees. So reluctantly, I'm going to go with the Stros because they beat the Yankees, and I think it's actually going to go 6. It's going to be finished in 6.
6 for the Stros.
6 for the Stros. Yes, I give the first game to the Claw, and then I think the Stros are going to take the next 2. And then from there, we'll see. But I definitely think it's going to go Stros in 6.
You know, the interesting thing about this series is neither team's pitching has to be perfect. I mean, they have offense to back them up. And so I think that's taken a lot of pressure off the Dodgers pitching, especially, you know, the Claw, because he used to be like, okay, I got to hold them to, you know, 2 runs or less, otherwise we lose. Now, you know, if you give up 3 or 4 runs, you still got a shot at winning, and you probably got a really good shot at winning. So I think that's both. I think that, and you know, it'd be interesting to ask a pitcher this, but I'm sure it takes some pressure off of them of being like, okay, I have to go in here and be perfect versus, okay, you know, I'm going to go pitch my game, but if it's not perfect, that's fine. I still got a shot at getting us a win.
Exactly. And I think the one thing and the one person that we haven't mentioned, the X factor, in my opinion, for this series is Jose Altuve, the best player in the series. And yes, that includes the claw, and the shortest player in the series, I'm sure, and the soon-to-be AL MVP.
He deserves it.
He does. You know, he proved me wrong when he played the Yankees. I was like, oh, you know, who is this guy? Blah blah blah. But watching those games, he's a grinder. He is such a grinder.
I love his game.
He comes up big when he needs to, which is what, you know, an MVP needs to do, and what you need that type of player on your team. So that's one of the other main reasons why I'm going with the Stros. I just got to ride with them.
Yeah, I got to go. You know, maybe last year I would have gone with the Stros, but I told you after last year when I kept betting against the Cubs, who were the best team last year, I decided to stick to my guns this year and pick who I thought was the best team all year instead of going against that and maybe more of a gut pick. So I'm going to stick with the Dodgers. It's going to be a fun, entertaining series.
Very fun.
And hopefully we get everything we're asking for, because I think this could be a notch below the Cubs type celebration, just for the Dodgers going crazy how long they've been waiting as well. So with that being said, guys, thanks a lot for joining us on another episode of the Sports Trigger, and until next time.